Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John Gray, and we're just plain living here on our way to Christmas.
Good morning, John Gray. Peggy Burton here.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
Hi, Jim.
How are y'all today?
Y'all had a good week? Lots of stuff going on.
Yeah.
You survived the Christmas parade.
I survived
One more time.
I survived the Christmas parade one more time. Although I was really bragging on everybody about how I'm just toasty warm in that setting
I
over
know
there.
you're sitting there with all your heaters.
Yeah, well, I got in there and there was a problem that the heater was overloading the circuits and the cord was getting hot.
So they had to
we were
unplug it.
afraid to turn it on because we thought it might blow us off the air. So I suffered through that. So
Really?
yeah.
That was
I've heard
historical
about that.
parade.
Well, at the point that we discovered that, it was too late.
Too late?
It was too late to call you for assistance. So anyway. Plus,
Well, you had your long underwear on, didn't you?
no, because
You knew you was
thought
going to
he
have
had
a heater.
I knew I was going to have a heater. I had it. I was ready to put it on. I thought, you know what? This is ridiculous because it's always kind of nice in there. It's
Yeah.
really never that
I'm
cold.
not gonna worry
So
about it.
I didn't wear it this year. So anyway.
Well, today is Old Town Christmas Day.
It is.
If you're watching this
Yeah.
on Tuesday. And
That happens tonight at different locations around town.
Civic Center will be open, I believe, 5:30 till 6, 7:30,
Speaking
something
of,
like that.
speaking of the Civic Center, I'm really proud that we made it through the Christmas parade, actually. But I'm prouder of myself that I actually went to the Nutcracker
I know, wasn't it wonderful?
and made it through the whole thing, yes.
And your little grandchild was a cutie up there.
I heard that she was absolutely
She was
magnificent.
fabulous.
I thought she did really well.
Well, it was a wonderful
I'm
production.
trying to figure out if I got conned in this deal because Nancy bought tickets for both of us.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, Nancy, I'm really busy and I don't think I'm going to be able to go to that. And
She held a gun to your right temple.
well, no, she took it really well. Actually, better than I would have thought.
Yeah.
Anyway, last week, Isabella calls me up and says, this is really a big deal for me. I cannot believe you're not coming.
Oh.
And I said, well, I'm sorry, I'm just too busy. And then I thought about it for about 30 minutes, and I thought, okay, you got me.
You gotta go.
I'm
You
on a
gotta
guilt
go.
trip now, so I'm going to go. So I actually showed up. So it
Wow.
was very good.
It was an excellent
Yeah.
production, and you know, if you listen to the music, just hearing the music is fabulous.
Yeah.
But the costuming is tremendous, honestly. And it's absolutely beautiful.
My little surrogate daughter, Chloe Fuller,
she
was
the
played
little- young Claire.
The young Claire, and they live up the street from us. And ever since she was a little bitty girl, I've just loved her. She used to run around. I called her, "Where's Chloe? Like, where's Waldo?" She looked
Yeah.
like Pippi Longstocking. She always
Yeah.
had striped pants on and stuff. Just the cutest and very, very talented young lady. Very sweet young lady, and her parents are just wonderful. They have invested themselves in South Jackson as well.
Very much so.
Very much
I
so.
met Sean Sunday, and a really nice guy. And
He's about 10 feet tall.
Yeah, I know.
And you talk about
determined-
talented.
Oh, yeah.
He has a room up there in his house. He probably has 25 different instruments up there.
I love it. I love
And
that he
he
has a
play
red
every one of
saxophone.
them. And those kids come over to their house, Sean and Terry's house, and they just go into their own music room
Yeah.
and just pick up whatever it is that they want to try to play. And Sean can play most all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just extremely talented and lovely and very giving people, and we're so fortunate in our community, as we always have been.
Well,
to
and
have,
I would
have people
I would
like
like
that.
to say thank you to Long School of Dance.
Sure.
Jean Marie Ford and Beverly Long have done this. I did know how many years. They do it every other year.
A bunch.
I've done it a bunch, and every year you think, well, how can they have good students again? But every year they come up, you know, the talent
The
surfaces.
talent pool around here is equal to the type of individuals that live here, and we're very fortunate because of Arnold Center and the Space Institute and different things like that who bring people into our community that otherwise might not be here.
You know,
That's true.
not only that, I think it has a tremendous effect on these children that are involved in these programs. Did you see that somebody did a study, and it's about a 10-year study, on why the children, I think it's New Zealand, and I could be wrong about that, do not drink and smoke and get into as much trouble as they do other places.
they're involved
And it was
in
because
creative
10 years ago,
activities.
they realized that this is a problem. And so they started
Went to work on
creating
it.
all these activities for children to get involved in and do, children and young adults, after school. And so now they're too busy to get in trouble.
I know.
They got too much going on. you know.
Fabulous. Honestly, the arts keep a lot of people off the street. Me for one.
Peggy's off the streets because of the arts, folks.
Well, it's true though.
Sure it
I
is.
mean, you're also anxiety, all that is big now. Mental illness is all over the newspaper, and people are struggling to find something to get them focused and balanced. And the arts are a big part of that.
Well, and you put somebody, and it's amazing. I've been involved with South Jackson Goes Country for years and years and years, and South Jackson as well, and what we do here. You know, the confidence that it builds in a young person to walk
absolutely,
out
yeah.
on that stage and put themselves out there. Well, first off, it takes courage. Courage.
Courage,
ambition
drive, ambition.
and ambition and confidence that you can't learn that kind of stuff anywhere else.
No, and I don't think we actually learned that as young people either, because
We didn't have the opportunities they did.
I certainly didn't. It amazes me. My grandchildren have no fear anymore.
Isn't that great?
You know, they don't.
No.
They have no
They have
fear
no
of
fear
going on
of,
stage. You know,
Getting up there
I've
and
been
doing
terrified
something.
at that age.
Plus, take dance for instance. What great exercise! Wow.
Yeah.
You know, every bone and muscle in your body is
Sure.
exercised. Anyway.
So we're just fortunate.
I'm proud of what we do at South Jackson.
We're fortunate
And-
here to have the activities we have in our town
Yes, we are.
and the surrounding towns. I mean, we've got all kinds of stuff that most people don't
Well,
have.
look
I guarantee
what
you, most towns like our town don't have an opportunity to talk with their police chief twice a week, twice a month on television. The community gets an opportunity to know this man and feel comfortable with him and his staff because of what we do here. That other towns don't do this. We do this.
I think it's great.
yeah. Actually, I'm getting a little bit upset about this because everywhere I go, people want to talk about the police chief. I think,
Because so handsome.
and I think he's become a bigger star than the rest of us now. And I'm
Well,
just
he
not
is.
real happy about that. So,
He is.
anyway.
He deserves to be a star.
At least he's a lot
We're
of fun.
fortunate here.
He's a lot of fun to hang out with. Though,
You know, and
so,
then we've got on the other side, we've got Woody over here from Lynchburg, and he and Seymour are going to be here, and dressed up
I
as
thought
Santa
that was
Claus.
Santa Claus.
And no, that's Woody Claus. That's Woody Claus
Oh.
right there. And then right next to him, you turn and there's Richard Brooks sitting there. Rich Brooks,
Yeah.
who owns our premier business in this town that we're so fortunate to have, Templar Shooting Sports.
Great.
You know, there's no place he could have put that business anywhere
Sure.
he wanted to. They operate a state licensed and accredited business on firearms and firearm safety and how to be careful and how to know how to use a firearm.
which is really.
It's amazing to have
Yeah.
a business like that in our town.
Yes, it is.
And Richard, I've told this story 1,000 times. I think I told it when I was on a segment with Paul and I one day that I don't know a lot about guns, but I had this .38 one time, and I came home when I was closed the club, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and the door was open to my home. And so I reach under the seat and I get this .38 out, and I go up to the door and cock this gun, you know.
Ouch.
And I'm looking through there, and I finally find out maybe I just left it open. There's nobody in here. And then I realized I do not know how to uncock this gun.
I know. Shoot somebody.
I know nothing about this gun. I've had
Pull
it
that
forever.
trigger.
Anyway, I ultimately had to fire the gun into the ground at 3 o'clock in the morning in the backyard. It's the only thing I could do.
I love that.
So, I think it's a great service for what Richard does.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He's going to be on today, and we'll talk about some and many of the things they do over there.
Yeah.
So, so how fortunate are we to be able to sit in a small town like this and do what we do?
Right.
This doesn't happen anywhere else around
right.
here. We do it. We provided local information to the city of Tullahoma and the surrounding towns for 25 years.
Right.
A video history of our area. Nobody else has that but us.
Well,
Thank you for being
Maybe.
involved. And Peggy
Well, thank
gave us
you.
credibility the first time.
Yeah, right. We brought Peggy on.
She
did give
came
us
and
some
sat
credit.
on the stage. Jimmy and I went, we've made it now.
Yeah, that's
We
right.
got somebody that's real up here with us.
That's right. That's
you
right.
guys. Gotta love you. She ain't like you.
yeah, you might not like us. You gotta love us. Our staff back there, Philip and Andrew, and there's Julia out here. Who, without Julia, she makes us smile right before we go on the air, and we just have a good time here. We have a lot of good people that work with us and for us, and at the holiday season here, personally, I just like to thank everybody for out there for supporting us for this amount of
sure.
time.
Yeah, it means a lot.
Our sponsors and our people who call in and our people who are interested in what we do, we couldn't do it without them. Just like South Jackson couldn't operate without somebody in the seats.
Well, true. Right.
You got to
somebody
have
in
an
the seat.
audience, and sponsors have to understand how important it is to be involved locally. So thanks out there, folks. That's all I know to say is thank you very much for what you've allowed us to do for the last 25 years.
Did you see Justin Lynch last night?
Yes,
He was fabulous. He really
Tullahoma
was.
boy made
Yes,
good.
Yeah.
Mike Haynes was playing trumpet back there.
Mike Haynes,
He
yeah,
goes
that's
back a
right.
ways, and he's a
Stevie
wonderful
Brewster
jazz.
might have been playing drums. I don't know.
Possibly.
Tullahoma connection, man.
Yeah.
Big time in Nashville. So what we're going to do right now is take a quick commercial break and pay attention to our sponsors. Shop local. Don't go out of town until you've exhausted everybody around here to find what you want. Go look around. You might find something that you didn't even know you wanted. Shop local. We'll be right back.
It's football time in Tennessee, and nobody tackles the competition like the Russell Barnett Automotive family. With 6 locations to serve you, certified collision center, over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from at russellbarnett.com, hometown auto rental, limited lifetime powertrain warranty on certain units, certified pre-owned units. Too many reasons to mention why I keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Hey, good morning, everybody. You'll see that there's a little bit of a change this morning. I'm sitting in the control seat, and Mr. Jim Fuller is sitting in the guest chair.
Absolutely.
So I told him last time we met that I wanted to introduce him and we're just going to switch the roles a little bit. And so this morning he said, you're in charge. So
Yeah, and then I actually told Paul that I like sitting in this chair here because you really have to know anything over here.
don't have to know anything. Okay, that's the chair I've been sitting in. So does that mean I've known nothing?
I was actually kidding about that.
I think we remember Sergeant Schultz from a TV show that says, I know nothing.
I know nothing.
Yeah, Hogan's
that's
Heroes,
that's
right?
correct. That's
well,
correct.
This morning, I guess it's going to be kind of odd if I'm in charge because I could ask you the questions and we could see what kind of knowledge you have.
Of which I won't know the answers.
Okay. Well, did you watch the board meeting last night?
I did not.
Okay.
However, I do understand that there was some big news, and it relates to you.
The police department, that's right. Last night we had the opportunity to present the actual renderings and the drawings of the new police department to our board of mayor and aldermen. Earlier in the day, from about 1:30 to 3:30, it was an open venue where the architect was there with the plans, and anybody that wanted could come in, look at the plans, ask questions. So last night we got to actually present it to the board to let them look at. And I think we're all excited about the prospects. So that's one more check mark that we've done that gets us closer to turning the first shovel. The architect gave a preliminary timeline of in January, hopefully we can go out and request bids. Early part of February, select a contractor, and then about March or April actually turn the first shovel. And he anticipates the project, maybe about a year project. If we start in April, we'll hit those winter months, and who knows what weather may be. So we're excited about that. At the plans now is a 14,000 square foot building. We currently are working out of about a 5,000 square foot building.
That's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be nice. It's going to be able to allow us to serve our community much better. And telling people that when we serve the community, we got to have the right environment. We have to have places we can interview somebody privately. We got to have sufficient office space where the officers and detectives can do their job. So we're excited about it, and I think the community is going to be excited. They were able to show the exterior rendering of what it's going to
looks really
good, and it somewhat complements the current city hall. It doesn't look a 1950-ish version, but some of the shapes, designs, and some of the materials kind of look as though it'll complement it. So we're excited about that.
To draw you a little parallel here, they're currently in 5,000 square feet up there, and most of you have probably been by there from time to time. But the building that the Legion used to be in, which I think now is doctor's offices on North Washington Street, is 14,000 square feet. So it's going to be a big change.
It's going to be a big change.
Yeah.
We're looking at it as a 20-year plan. But there's also some provisions to where in 20 years, if we need to expand, we're already looking at that of where the expansion can be and how that can be accomplished. So we're planning with that in mind. And if we go with the original plan that we're at right now, on day one moving in, we'll have some extra space built, already constructed. So during that 20 years, if there's a need for some growth, we've already got that built in. So we think we've thought this out pretty well. The senior leadership at the police department's looked at it several times, and we've asked the officers to look at it and to give us suggestions and comments on it. So this has been a team effort.
So the building that you have now, will that be torn down?
We're not sure what's going to happen to that.
Because I'm concerned about that, because a lot of my friends have some really fond memories of being in jail.
Upstairs,
which the cells are still up there.
The cells are still up there, yes they are. Of course now they're used for storage and everything. But it's a toying cost. We hear some people say, just as you said, it'd be a shame to tear it down, and then there's others, okay, what can we do with it?
Yeah.
Because it is 70 years old.
Oh yeah.
And anything that we did to renovate it would kick in the current codes. So we would have to bring everything up to current codes if we try to renovate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that becomes quite a challenge.
Yeah. And I don't know if you folks, probably the vast majority of you folks have never spent any time in Paul's office at the police department, you know, because you don't get in trouble or nothing. You don't have to go see.
Well, you don't come to my office just because you're in trouble.
Well, that's true.
I have
That's
a lot of good conversations with the public and the community in the office, and it could be about anything.
But my observation has always been, and actually I haven't been in trouble when I've been there, but Paul has a major responsibility as police chief, and his office is pretty modest and pretty small. Pretty small.
I mean,
so I'm assuming that gets a little better accommodations.
It'll be the chief will have a little bit larger office,
right?
And you know, we've tried to plan that in with all the offices. You know, not necessarily spacious and overly elaborate, but you know, sufficient to where you can do your job, and something that the community can be proud of. Because the police department is one of the few buildings in town that's open 24/7.
Right.
And you know, with the exception of, you know, our convenience stores and some of our all-night restaurants, that and the hotels, that's it.
Right.
So it's not uncommon for people to come to us at all hours of the day needing assistance, and so we need to have something that is nice for them to come into.
It's my understanding that you really don't have any space in your current building to really interrogate people, or
not a good one. And key to a good interrogation is having the right environment.
Right.
You know, so no, right now we don't, and that's a shame, because the people that we're interviewing and the people conducting the interviews, they need to have that that option. You know, one of the things that we're really going to be excited about in the new building is when you come into our lobby and need to talk to an officer, you don't have to stand in the lobby and let everybody in the lobby hear your issue.
Right.
We're going to have a private room. We can take them in and sit down and talk to them, and so that's important.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel for the folks that are in the lobby and having to share something that's very traumatic with an officer, and there's other people sitting around.
Right.
They just don't need that.
Right.
So we're excited. There's a lot of good things. Of course, we'll have an open house. We want the community to come in, look around. We're not going to have all the frills. A lot of new police departments that are being built, they have indoor gun ranges, they have underground parking, they have laboratory services. You know, we're not going to have communications. We're not going to have all that stuff. So, you know, it's not a super elaborate, you know, Taj Mahal or anything.
Right.
And we're not making it like a fortress. We want it to be something that fits into the community, looks good, people can easily identify it as a police department, and it'll be able to serve our community.
Right. Okay.
Now, we did have yesterday, the Markhams came by. They're the ones that donated the land, so we invited them to come and look at the plans and see what is going to be the end result of their donation, and I think they're pleasantly pleased with what we produced. So it's exciting. We're looking forward to it.
Takes about a year, right?
It probably will, and you know, we're trying to figure in whether there may be some weather delays or material delays, things like that. What I've said often is we only get one chance to do this, so let's do it right. If it means taking, you know, an extra month or 2 months, let's do that. If we want to make sure we need another extra month to plan it properly, let's do that. We only get the one shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's going to be exciting. So, is there anything you want to share with us or ask of me?
I can't think of a thing, Paul.
You know, we one of the things I told you I wanted to talk about.
They tell us we got
a minute. What can we do in a minute?
Don't shoot.
You know, that's a good story, because, you know, immediately probably me and Rich both started asking ourselves, okay, is that a single action or a double action pistol? Yeah.
What's the difference?
Oh, single action is you got to cock it to shoot it. Double action is you can just pull the trigger and it pulls the hammer back.
You know, okay, then you didn't have to cock it.
So why'd you cock it?
I don't know. I guess I'd seen it in the movies.
I think you saw John Wayne cock his pistol.
I think I'd seen it in the movies.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
Keep in mind, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you know.
Yeah. So, you know, I oftentimes, I don't want to say I get fearful of people with, you know, but, you know, those stories are funny. Because like you said, I had to go outside and shoot it in the ground to
I honestly
to
did.
decock it.
And not only that, it was the agony of having to think through that at 3 o'clock. And what am I going to do? I can't leave this gun laying around here cocked.
And I'm sure, Richard, I could have told you many ways that you could have safely, handled that.
Well, actually, the scary thing is that probably I've not fired a gun since then, and I don't believe I know today what I could have done.
Well, I tell you, as you said, with Rich's company here, he's a great asset and good place for people to go learn that aren't comfortable with a firearm.
Right.
I've been down there several times, and I know that's a great location and business in our town.
Right.
Gun safety is very important.
Of course it is.
Yes.
Of course it is.
So our time is up. So we'll be back again in 2 weeks. But from me to y'all, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we'll see you next year.
All right.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
All right, folks, we're back, and I'm here today with my friend Rich Brooks from Templar Shooting Sports, and we gave him a little prop up here earlier, but I wanted to, if you've not been out there, I went out to Rich's facility, and it's a family thing. Absolutely. Out there. Yeah. Rich and your dad, give us a little history about how all this got started.
Well, I started teaching the handgun permit course right around 2011, 2012, and everybody kept asking, where can we shoot? Where can we shoot? And there was, a couple outdoor ranges and things like that, but women don't want that, and the ladies, they'll tolerate it only so much. And so me and a friend who formerly owned a firearm store here in Tullahoma started talking and everything, and ended up started doing some homework, went to NRA range conference, and so things kind of didn't go the way we saw it, and he ended up having to go back to work full time and closing his business. And so I just decided, well, let's see if we can do this by ourselves, And
right.
So a lot of the things that I learned throughout the 3 years prior to even getting started, number one, women were rapidly becoming over 50% of the sport shooting industry. And if you were
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And so that primarily you want to market to the ladies, because when they're outside, a wise man once told me, local business owner, he said, Rich, for us guys, the world is our urinal. We can do anything, anywhere, and we don't care. However, the women want clean bathrooms. They want safe, comfortable, open environment, and that's really the thing, is they want to be welcome and they want to be comfortable, and especially around firearms and things like that. They want to. It's kind of intimidating for a woman, and so what my vision was to take that intimidation out and have an environment where not only women were comfortable, but the entire family could come.
Yeah.
And I get asked all the time, what's my age limit on the range? I said, they just need to be old enough to be able to keep the earmuffs on their head, because we don't want to ruin our baby's ears.
Right.
I said, as long as they can keep the earmuffs on their head, they're fine, and they need to be able to follow instruction from their parents.
Right.
And so, and I always have a range safety officer out there when, we've got the families or people that, will need help or anything like that. And so, I think, especially having to do on a budget, it was very innovative, and we had to come up with some
and we all have budgets.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just, we are, I'm a veteran, and we're local owned. We didn't have any major corporations backing us. It's my wife Natasha and I and the bank, and we were very blessed to be able to do that at that time. And so that was really kind of the vision, was I wanted a place that wasn't a man cave. I wanted a place where everybody felt like family coming in the door, and that still today is my model. My service model is, if somebody comes in the door and they're not greeted within the first 30 seconds, we are wrong.
Right.
And it's not anything against the customer. Even if you're busy and you're talking to somebody, greet the people that are coming in and let them know you've recognized them and you're there to help them.
Well, I enjoy watching this show called Pawn Stars on History Channel. Yeah. And one of the great characters in that is the old man.
Right.
There's an old man that hangs around your place too, isn't there?
Yeah, and he's a character, that's for sure.
That's your dad?
That's my stepdad, Mark.
Yeah.
And he's been, he's helped every step of the way because I was still deploying as a contractor overseas to Iraq and Afghanistan when we started building. And so, and actually the plan was, and I was injured, but that's a whole different story. The plan was for me to continue to contract for the first 2 years of business so that the business could grow and didn't have to worry about paying me. Right. And so, God has other plans, and things happen, and we just, we buckled down, and we've been very blessed, and Mark has been very instrumental in making sure that, he runs tight ship, put it that way.
Oh yeah, like I say, he's like the old man. He's this guy right here, and his wife and the rest of the staff down there are fun, and the old man, he's the stern one.
Yeah. He's
a tough sale. He's a tough sale, isn't he?
Yeah, he's fun, and we enjoy it. And we're blessed that it is a family operation. My daughter Grace works for me. Yeah. And my son Brendan was pretty much our only full-time employee for a while, but he's moved on. He's now full-time with Rutherford County EMS, and he and his wife. And so, and they're finishing up school, and they're young, and they got dreams, and let them follow.
Well, the fun thing about it is, the first day I went in there, they were having a big event down there, and I went in there to video and get some film and everything like that, because Rich had decided that he wanted to do some advertising with us, and he's on our Tennessee Traveler show with coupons for the range pass, and there's all these children in there. Yeah. Just children everywhere, and even in the commercial, there's this young man that's about this tall, and he's the star of the whole deal. And I think that might have been a nephew or something of your. I forget who he is.
It's either Remington, our bonus boy.
Remington.
Yeah.
What a name for a kid that's involved with a shooting group. So, And comfortable. You're talking about making it comfortable. He has his own brand of coffee down there.
Absolutely.
You walk in the door, you smell coffee. What's more comfortable this time of year than that?
Absolutely.
Other than maybe a pot of bean soup or something.
And you had talked about shop local, and that's a big thing to me. And so for me,
very much.
If I'm, and obviously I can't be choosy when it comes to my distributors and things like that. However, to me, it's very important. Either I want to do business with local owned businesses or veteran owned businesses, and to stay true to my brothers and sisters who are vets. And so the CEO of Black Rifle Coffee, kind of turned a bunch of us into coffee snobs. And back before Black Rifle Coffee, and Evan and I did a few trips together, and we were involved in the same contract and things like that. And so I was dealing with Black Rifle Coffee, and it was going great. And then all of a sudden, he did a Fox News interview, and everybody ran out of Black Rifle Coffee. And so I'm glad that they are now not only local, veteran, and a friend owns them, but we were
now they're successful as well.
Yeah, and so I had to come up with something. And our coffee is roasted on Coffee Street in Coffee County at Raphael's, and they do it specifically for us. So.
Well, listen, we've got about 30 seconds left, and I want to, this is going to be a blatant advertisement here, is we want you to go by and stop in and see, watch our Tennessee Traveler show, watch the Christmas parade. He's on, their commercials on some of these things that we do. They have every kind of firearm almost that you can imagine there. They're licensed to sell all of these things. They're licensed and accredited to train you. If you're not comfortable on how to use a firearm, they can make you comfortable using it, to know the proper way to handle, to operate, to clean, and to store.
From A to Z.
From A to Z. And that's right here in Tullahoma. And you'd be surprised when you go in his business how many people you might see from Fayetteville or McMinnville or people. And how wonderful is that for us to have something of that type in our town.
Yeah, absolutely.
That brings people from out of town here to visit with us and maybe buy a hamburger or some gas or something while they're here.
That's right.
Rich Brooks, Templar Shooting Sports.
Thank
you very much, my friend.
I appreciate it.
I know you're always welcome, and keep up the good work, okay?
Thank you, sir.
We'll be right back after these messages.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Maiden. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterwear.
Yes, Roosterwear is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterwear specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with a material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterwear.
Come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com
to find our handcrafted designs for
the cock of the walk.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Folks, one of the great things about being in a town, small town like Tullahoma this time of year, every time of year, particularly this time of year, is music is everywhere. There's civic choir. We'll have that on our channel. Look on the bulletin board for that, the Christmas parades. There's THS singers. There's junior high school singers. We have Old Town Stroll tonight. There's music abounds. We're going to bring you right now. This was this past Sunday at THS. It's the THS Singers. Christmas time is here.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department needs you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
I love it when Winston Brooks comes on our show. He always has a million things to talk about. You're the busiest man I know.
Well, thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
Great job, and Merry Christmas to you.
It's great to be here.
Something big is happening this weekend. You want to talk about it?
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing about living in Tullahoma. There's always so many activities to take advantage of. And as y'all were talking about earlier, all the great musical talent for the Christmas season.
There really is.
Well, this Saturday down at Fraser McEwen Park, we have some Christmas events for the entire family, young and old. So this Saturday at 8 a.m., I'm sorry, at 8:30, they're going to kick off the Reindeer Run, which is going to be a 5K fun run walk, which is always a good time because you can bring the family out and get a little exercise in, because at 11 is going to be the candy cane hunt. And I don't know if you've ever witnessed that. But
I have not. What's the candy cane hunt?
So the candy cane hunt is like the Easter egg hunt. And,
okay, so you're
many people
hunting candy canes.
you're hunting candy canes, and so
that's a cute idea.
They'll have thousands of candy canes all throughout the park, and then when you release the hounds, I mean the children,
the hounds,
they go right in and gobble them all up.
Yeah.
And there'll be Christmas characters and Christmas music, hot chocolate.
Oh, fun!
It's
and I think
just
it's
a nice family
be a nice
event.
Day.
Yes, it will be.
Because I think we've had a real cold spell, and maybe it's going to be a
warm
beautiful
up,
day. Yeah.
That's right, absolutely. We talked about the Tullahoma community is so talented with all the artists and the music that we have, and the other thing though that makes Tullahoma really tick, you know what that is?
Well, I'm afraid to say.
Volunteers.
You're right, volunteers, because all this could not ever happen without a host of volunteers.
People who are interested in certain areas and want to get involved. So this morning I went out, and this is an organization many people may have heard of and never got involved with. It's not directly related to the city, but it's the Arnold Community Council. It is the advocacy group for the Air Force Base, and they do many great things to support that Air Force Base. But each month they have a meeting, and one of the items in that meeting is a briefing from the commander. So this morning, Colonel Kane told us about all the activities and testing going on out there. And it is just a fascinating lesson. They are working on everything from cybersecurity to hypersonics to space.
I don't think that we in the community actually have a clue.
And this is a great way to
big things that go on out there.
That's right. And this group, again, they are the advocacy group, so they do many different things that support the base. One of those things is they take a trip to Washington, D.C. and advocate for the base and the testing, and so there's many great things, and this is just a small way you can get involved. It's open to the public, and they talk about really neat stuff like loiter missiles that just hang up there. Loiter missile hangs up in the air, and just waits for a target. And in the meantime, it can be used for communication. But so that's all based on volunteers. And in Tullahoma, we need volunteers. We need more volunteers. We need volunteers that are passionate. We need people may not realize this, but all the independent boards that we have in Tullahoma are volunteer-based
volunteers.
positions.
Exactly.
So you look at like the Tree Board, the Planning Commission, the Tullahoma Area Economic Development Corporation. Volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. And we need those people to
and do you
step
meet with
up.
all those people?
Yes, ma'am. We
I
have
know
regular
it's-
meetings.
It's a huge job, and people probably just think you come in here smiling with nothing to do. I know you're very
Well,
busy.
you're very kind. That's right. Well, but I enjoy working with so many talented people. And if people want to get involved, all they've got to do is call out to the mayor's office, and we'll get you connected and
Right.
get you on the committee you want. Now, there's those types of committees that I just mentioned, those boards, which are very businesslike. But then there's also some fun initiatives that Mayor Curley has started over the last couple of years, like the Arts Council,
Right.
Go Green with Alderman
That Go
Dunn, who's
Green is
leading
a
that
big
up.
thing.
That's right. The Sports Council and Get Fit Tullahoma. So
That's
those
been
are
huge.
Yes, those are all organizations where we need volunteers.
I think the beauty of what you do is that it encompasses not just Tullahoma, but it reaches out into
That's right.
bordering communities. And I think setting the example is important.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're doing in Tullahoma, I believe.
We're trying, and you know, we're doing great here in Tullahoma right now. Things are really growing, but the whole county is doing really well.
Yeah, I think
and so. Going back to that Arnold Community Council organization, you'd be amazed because it pulls people from all over Coffee County, Bedford, and Franklin, and even out of Huntsville.
So there's no need for you to sit home on your couch. If you have a gift
That's right.
of giving, this is a wonderful opportunity
That's
to
right.
get involved in what you like to be involved in.
Absolutely. There's all types of ways to give back. And then, you know, I'm glad you mentioned that because you reminded me. There's also our website at tullahomatn.gov/volunteer Tullahoma. If you go to that
you
site,
can just go there and find
that
out
has
what
the
to
list
do?
of all the 501c3 and nonprofit organizations in Tullahoma that you may be interested in learning more about.
And there's a huge amount of 501.
There are about 40. I mean, everything
Yeah.
from the Henry Center to the Shepherd's House to the Good Samaritan.
And it's hard to say which is most important.
Oh boy, there's so many needs
there's
out there.
so many needs, and
And this community is so generous as well.
well, you know, in my years of traveling in other countries and wherever, Tennessee got the recognition of being the volunteer state and has been for a long time. Well, I would say Tullahoma, in our area here, lots of volunteers. And you're right, we can't function without them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're always needing those folks. And again, just reach out to the mayor's office at 455-2648, and we'll be able to get you connected.
455-2648, and just call in, and if you don't know what you're talking about, we'll ask a few questions.
That's right.
People are glad to answer.
Reach out to me too. I'll be glad to talk with you and let you know what opportunities are available.
Like, how many seconds a day do you have available to do that?
Hey, you know,
I know you're busy, but you take the time.
Yes, well,
and
and I
that's
enjoy
what it
it.
takes.
Absolutely.
Well, I saw it just flash across the screen. Was that your website?
Yeah, so it's
I saw
the
it.
website's tullahomatn.gov.
And there's where you can get all the information in the world that you need about what's going on and what's needed.
That's
And
right.
if you think of a need that is not under that umbrella, voice it.
That's right.
To the, I think the mayor and all the people there at City Hall is anxious to find out the views of the community.
Oh, absolutely. You know, definitely stay in touch with your board of mayor and aldermen.
Sure.
I mean, we elected those folks to serve the citizens of Tullahoma, and they need to hear your input.
And what I love is that they're very visible.
That's right.
You know, I
Yes.
have to say, Mayor Curley, he's here, he's there, and sometimes I wonder how he gets to all those places.
He's a great leader for the community,
And,
but he can't do it all.
No, he can't.
He's got a lot of great volunteers
He's got
back there
a lot of
helping
great
him out.
volunteers, and that's
I don't
what
think he'll mind me
makes the
saying
difference.
that.
No, he won't. He won't. And that's what a good leader does.
That's right.
That's what a good leader does.
Well, he often says that's his main job is to inspire people to help us reach our goals.
Find people to help and accept what they can do.
Yes.
And then ride the fence on what they can't and find somebody else, because it's a great community to live in, and I'm very proud of all our volunteers and all our leaders. Thank you for so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Have we said it all?
That's it.
I think it's
we're
time
good.
for us to go, even though Julia
see
says we
that.
have 30 seconds, but I think we're done here. Thank you, Winston.
Thank you, Peggy. I
Have
appreciate
a good
it.
day.
Absolutely.
Keep reaching out for volunteers. We'll be
Yes.
back with more.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat. You know, they do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paintworks at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
I was just talking to Winston about all the great volunteers we have in our community. Well, the Tullahoma Civic Choir has 80 or more volunteer singers that Ann Baldwin works with every year. At this time, we'd like to show you Hark the Herald Angels Sing by Tullahoma Civic Choir.
Have you heard the news? Russell Barnett Automotive family has launched its new website, russellbarnett.com. Very user-friendly. Over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Online credit applications, hometown auto rental, customer testimonials, trade appraisals, certified collision center, service department scheduling. Too many reasons to mention why I keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And I'm Pat Welch, and we're here with the 5th installment of Conversations with John and Pat. John, you know, I've had a great time, and my wife has felt like I may have watched Channel 6 and also the internet more than I should have, admiring ourselves on our first 4 installments. And I don't know if it's the light.
Admiration might not be the word. It may be is so you don't embarrass yourself.
Well, it may have been watching it with a critical eye. But I have noticed that both of us have some of our hair has departed. And I don't know that we're going to be able to mask that.
No.
Has Philip got the, there's
a picture of Al Pacino. No, that's Pat Well. That's your early picture, Pat.
That's my picture when I was at Motlow, and I had a lot of confidence then.
Has that diminished somewhat since that time?
The worst part about it, of being this vain, I'm a sinful person. This is Good Friday that we're taping this. When I close my eyes and think of myself, that's how I see myself.
Yeah,
and there's times when I look in the mirror that I'm a little bit surprised. Now there's John.
That's on my wedding day.
That's his wedding day, and I think we talked last one of several of the segments beforehand that we'd made trips over to Depot Street in Chapel Hill, where your mother lived before she moved to Tullahoma, and she had a spare bedroom that had all 3 of the children's wedding day pictures up, big pictures. And the first time I saw John's, I thought, wow, if Walt Disney had seen that, Annette Funicello would have another leading man at Beach Blanket Bingo.
Thank you, Pat. That's very kind of you. But, you know, years ago, my brother lost his hair long before I did mine. Once I got into real estate full time, I guess that was a pretty tough job because I lost quite a bit of my hair during the real estate years. But anyway, my brother lost his hair first, and I wrote a song about think I'm going bald. And my brother has done this song many times, and maybe I can get through it. Won't you listen to my sad story? It's a tale of trouble and woe. I've been depressed for such a long time, I gotta tell someone I know. Now it's not a laughing matter, it's a serious problem to me. So perhaps you can help me get a hold of myself in this time of misery. Oh no, my hair is falling out. I think I'm going bald. I've spent a lot of sleepless nights just worrying about it all. I stand for the mirror helplessly and watch it fall. Yes, my hair is falling out. My God, I think I'm going bald. I've stood on my head for hours. I've eaten vitamins by the pound. I've read every hair care magazine. I've been to every MD in town. I've tried every miracle quick grow drug that's ever been advertised. Used every miracle, used every remedy known to man. And some that men ain't tried. Must have styled my hair 1,000 different ways. I fluff and tease each tiny strand and I freeze it quick to spray. I guess you could say I got hair, but the sad fact still remains. It's either lying on the floor in the bathtub drain. Oh no, my hair is falling out. I think I'm going bald. I've spent a lot of sleepless nights just worrying about it all. I stand for the mirror helplessly and watch it fall. Yes, my hair is falling out. My God, I think I'm going bald. I massage my scalp with goose grease, rare herbs, and alcohol. This is tough. That's a hard song. Well, Pat, let's just end it right there.
It's a hard topic.
Well, I had to do a lot of research in that song, and I hate to end it that way, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. All the words just don't come, and I don't have the words standing out before me.
Well,
but you get the gist of the song, don't you?
You get plenty of gist on it. And while you were singing that, it reminded me of our good friend Jackie Ravis. You know, he thought while he was recruiting for baseball team at Montlow State, he had to have hair, and he didn't have any. And he had a tremendous wraparound that he coiffured every morning. In fact, his wife told me that they had mirrors on all the walls in the bathroom. If you can imagine all that, and the stories that could lead into that. But he spent something like a half hour every morning getting all that spiraled and then sprayed where it would stay.
You mean Jackie did that?
And Jackie did that. And we're laughing at Jackie when he'd get excited. He had kind of a high-pitched voice. And they moved from Sharondale to off of Kings Lane. Royal Court. At the height of this spiraling and spraying. And his wife told him that they weren't going to have as many mirrors at the new house, and that aerosol smell that was permanently embedded in that house in Sharondale was out. And he went and had Mr. Spry, I believe, or Mr. Ray cut it all off at one whack. And he said that they pulled all the spiral off of one side. And he told me, he said, you know, he said, I was a hippie on one side and a GI on the other.
You know, Chris has told people, you know, Chris is losing a little hair too. He's getting to that age where he's losing some, and some people say, Chris, are you losing hair? And he said, yeah, I've been to our family reunions. I know what's coming.
Well, Chris is John's son, and my son is also named John, and he's losing some of his, and he's made some caustic remarks about the genealogy effects that's taking over. Well, John, we're getting close, I believe.
Pat, one thing I'd like to say, if we go back a few segments to the Chapel Hill Ghost Light. Okay. Someone has asked me, I didn't mess that song up, by the way, who was the fellow who died on the railroad track? And the first one to die was a fellow named Skip Agent. And that was back in the 40s, and maybe 43, 45, somewhere in that general area. And he was the first one that passed away or got run over by the train at the railroad track. And I thought it was interesting. I did see the death certificate one time, and Miss Mary Roselle, she was the Health County nurse. She was the one that signed where the coroner normally signed.
Wow.
So I thought that was very interesting.
Well, for an unrehearsed follow-up to that, I was really surprised when I got on the internet to either admire or critique ourselves. We got on the Ghostlight. There was a lot of information there, and there was one theory at least put out that somebody had killed the gentleman first and then laid him on the tracks, hoping that the train would dismember him so bad that they would have a hard time finding the cause of the death.
You know, forensics weren't.
They didn't have CSI back then.
No, they didn't have CSI back then. Yeah. Okay. Well, we just wanted to clear that little fact up.
All right, and that's probably close to the end of the 5th segment, and it's not the end of the stories, as I said last time, unless management says it is.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and Seymour's on his way. Along with Woody Claus. Hey Woody, how you doing, buddy?
Fabulous, bro.
Good to
Fabulous.
See you. What about this guy here? Look at this wonderful costume. This is Woody from Lynchburg, Tennessee, and he is here to talk about all things good.
Local shopping and getting ready for the big day.
Yes, sir.
This Thursday, December 13th, from 5 to 8, we're having Sip and Shop.
Sip and Shop. There it is right there. Look at that girl.
Yeah.
She is so happy. She doesn't look like she's already had a sip or two.
Well, we're going to have Sip and Shop, the Lynchburg Winery and American Craft Distillery. They're staying open until 8, and they're going to have door prizes. Vilma's Candy is going to have contests. And ugliest sweater and the best Christmas contest.
All right.
There's going to be cider available, cookies. But the main thing here is shop local.
Yeah.
This is a shop local, and this is a chance where local is opening up a chance for you ladies to come out and do that shopping. The ladies' handiwork, all that handmade stuff, they're going to do discounts. They've got specials going. The Lynchburg Pottery's got a special going. And the Shops of Lynchburg, the Purple Owl Boutique, she's got some cute stuff. All of this is just rolling in. I think Heaven in the Holler with that chocolate bacon.
Chocolate bacon.
Oh, man.
Is that anything like chicken fried bacon? It's chocolate covered bacon?
Yeah, it's chocolate covered bacon. It's great. And
you're not kidding.
No, I'm not.
Chocolate covered bacon.
Yes. It's delicious.
It's got to be good. Those are two of the greatest things in the world.
That's right.
Put them together.
And when you go by Heaven and Holler, if you get you some, don't bite it, cut it. That way you don't lose any chocolate crumbs. The
This sounds like a pro right here, folks.
Hey. But Vilma's has got truffles and candies and kids' gifts. Southern Grace Market up on the corner. They've got a lot of neat stuff going. Jackie's Gift Gallery is going to be open. It's lots of gift shops. Cowboy Jack's is going to be open. It'll be more in the Jack Daniel line. But we've got all these local shops. Like I say, there's handmade stuff.
Yeah.
There's stuff that you don't get from a box store.
No.
And there's stuff you don't get online. The ladies' handiwork. Everything in there is handmade. Not necessarily by a lady, though.
Really?
Yeah, there's a guy or two put stuff in there, too. I
love this. I love your robe here and your hat and all of that. Who did that for you?
Daughters are useful.
Daughters are useful. Yes,
my
they
daughter
are.
Stacy, she lives in Yorktown, Virginia.
Well, that's an excellent job.
She teaches sewing, and this is one of her creations. And
that's one of the best Santa older elf outfits I believe I've ever seen.
We'll go with Father Christmas.
Father Christmas. There it is.
And
don't forget Seymour back here.
Yeah.
Seymour's dressed up fine, too.
We'll be wandering around on Thursday.
There won't
December
be a horse
13th.
Involved anywhere, will there?
No.
No horses?
No horses.
Okay.
This is Thursday, December 13th, 5 to 8. Ladies' Holiday Sip and Shop. And so I don't forget, Facebook. Ladies' Night Holiday Sip and Shop, Lynchburg. All of this that I'm talking about is on there.
All the information's
All the information's on there. LynchburgTN.com. All the information. Those are the biggies, and it's a fun night. And one of the things, since we mentioned my daughter and her family and extended family, I go there for Christmas. Mm-hmm. Everybody looks forward to my coming because they know that any gifts I brought come from local, Lynchburg, Tullahoma, Fayetteville, local businesses, not the big box store, not Amazon.
It's real stuff.
Real stuff,
like chocolate-covered bacon.
Yeah,
that's got to be good.
And the truffles at Vilma's.
Yeah,
she makes truffles out of the wines and the chocolates. Oh, hey.
Now, is the lady's name Vilma that does it? Or is that
Kelly Sandifer's the owner. Her grandmother's name was Vilma, and they had a shop in Lynchburg.
All right.
So it's honoring her grandmother.
Yes.
And the candies. Oh, and they've got what? You remember when candy was a penny?
Yes.
Well, she's got some of those old nostalgic candies. Now, they're not a penny, but she's got some.
Yeah.
But I can't say enough about the truffles. Remember the candy orange slices?
Yes.
Yeah, she's dipped them in white chocolate.
Really?
Oh. And she's dipped them in milk chocolate. Oh.
Sounds good to me.
And you can have you can have alcoholic cherries or in chocolate, or you can have regular cherries in chocolate. Just.
You know, I can remember when I was a kid, and we would get at our house, somebody would send to my dad or mom these little chocolate bottles that had liqueurs in them.
Yes, sir.
You know, and so when you bit the top off the chocolate, there was a real alcoholic beverage inside of it, a liqueur.
Yeah, I haven't seen those recently, but the candy kisses, the bits of honey, and
I love a bit of honey.
There's names that I've slept 3 or 4 times since I walked in and out. But again, her truffles are good. The Lynchburg Pottery, she's got some neat pillows, and they're going to be, like I say, ugly
all
sweater
deals.
Contest, costume contest, and wander up to the winery and distillery. I think they're going to do some door prizes.
Great.
And that's the Lynchburg Winery and American Craft Distillery right there on the northwest corner of the square.
And that's what, this Thursday night?
That's this Thursday night, 5 to 8. 5 to 8.
Where?
Lynchburg Square.
Downtown Lynchburg. Father Christmas.
With our one stoplight.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Hey, Seymour, take care of this guy, will you? He needs help every now and then.
Yeah, it's a tough job.
All right, folks, we'll be back after these messages.
It's football time in Tennessee, and nobody tackles the competition like the Russell Barnett Automotive family. With 6 locations to serve you, certified collision center, over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from at russellbarnett.com, hometown auto rental, limited lifetime powertrain warranty on certain units, certified pre-owned units. Too many reasons to mention why. Keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, we're back, and Peggy and I decided Father Christmas or Woody Claus and Seymour just needed to stay up
they
here.
look so fine up here. I love it. The Lynchburg is just really hopping these
Woody
days.
Claus, one thing I want to ask you, and I know that I'm being spied on. Are you responsible for it?
For what?
You're being spied on. There's an elf on top of my lantern up here that's been watching me for 2 weeks now.
I have an in. Yes, sir. I do have an in on that elf.
So I need to watch out when I'm around the elf?
Absolutely. If you hadn't figured that out, you need a little extra help.
I'm in trouble already.
Yes, sir. You knew that from the get-go.
That elf knows more than he needs to know.
That's like my buddy Seymour.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing he can't talk.
Yeah, because he's seen more than you want him to see.
He's seen more than anybody wants to see.
Yes.
He's a good man.
All right, so Peggy, what's happening? We just had Nutcracker at the Civic Center.
And
What's
that
next?
Went really well. Well, there's so much going on, but we're kind of taking a few days off.
A few days off for the holidays.
Tonight,
Yeah,
which is,
yeah.
if you're watching this
Old
Tuesday,
Town Stroll.
Old Town Stroll, we're taking some time off and just getting ready for the next play, which I believe
deal.
has to do with a cake. So look
Cake Wars. Some kind of Cake Wars. I don't know
Anyway.
when the dates are on it.
Look
but
at
after the first of the year.
www.southjackson.org and you get all the information you want. We've
you
got a
figure it
gala
out.
coming up in January, which is going to be at
Night in New Orleans.
a night in New Orleans, going to be out at Lakeside, no, at the base.
Arnold Center?
Arnold Center.
UTSI.
Yeah, no, not at UTSI, not at UTSI, but at the Officers Club.
Oh, Officers Club.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that called? Lakeside.
Oh, okay. Well, isn't that good?
Beautiful
That's
building.
good.
and,
Yeah.
I think it's would be a nice change. We have that coming up. We have Beauty and the Beast is being auditioned this week, and that will be huge. And we have Jimmy Buffett coming up, not himself, but a tribute band, which is fabulous. I mean, they're the #1 tribute band for Jimmy Buffett, sanctioned by Jimmy himself, and they're coming in March. I'm excited about that.
Cool. Yeah,
I think that's going to be fun. Anyway, always go to the website, check it out. Manchester has a lot of good things going on. There's, I believe they have the Scrooge show. What is that called?
Scrooge.
Scrooge, is that the name of it? Anyway,
I guess. I don't
know. I think they have that going on, and then there's a children's play going on this week. There's lots of things going on in this area.
Right. Well, it's about time for us to get out of here. Don't forget to go buy couches and pick up my 2nd edition book of Loku. It's a wonderful thing to roll up and put in a stocking. They're only $20. There's 200 of them in there, so that's, what is that, 10 cents a thought? That's
Probably.
pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap.
Pretty
yeah.
cheap, 10
We
cents
call
a
it,
thought.
It's not cheap. Nothing is cheap. It's inexpensive.
Inexpensive.
Yeah.
All right.
we don't
So
wanna
we
be
thank
cheap.
you, folks. Be safe out there.
Merry
Kids
Christmas.
are on the road.
Merry
Christmas to
Christmas.
you. We'll see you next time.